is an old saying, you cannot please the woke mob no matter what you do, they will never be satisfied. This is a fact J.K. Rowling has come to learn after saying the blasphemous true statement that men are men and women. Understand me? They not want to crucify her because of that. But again, what is wrong with these people, and that's the way to put it, is that once you join them, it doesn't matter how crazy they are, whatever outlandish thing they say or do, you must always be a part of it. And you must always show such hated contempt for everybody and everything. These people are unhappy and they expect everybody to be just as miserable as they are. And when you're not, they jump on any opportunity to tear you down. Case in point, Gail Simone. Look at this article here from Fandom Pulse. Gail Simone takes heat from woke Twitter mob for her Women of Marvel #1 story. Yes, apparently Gail Simone didn't write a story where she bashes and hates men, and that is a problem. Because again, as I say, you can never not do anything to please these people. If they figure you must hate men non-stop, that's what you must do. Everything you must do must surround that. And anytime you say you're going to do anything against that, that becomes a problem. Let's get into this. Gail Simone was chosen by Marvel Comics to headline their Women of Marvel #1 special, an anthology book filled with mostly unheard of names other than the long-time feminist icon in comics. It seemed like a safe choice as she has enough of a following that she would help sell some books with her name, and on top of it, she's known to lean into her womanhood identity over the years as well. So of course, happy to do that. However, even Gail Simone is too conservative for the woke inquisition on Twitter/X in comics these days. They're calling for her head. Right. Now, let me just Gail Simone and Kelly Sue connect there. The thing about it is that the story that was written about it is actually pretty simple. Women start to disappear. Women in Marvel started to disappear one by one. It was this, they had like little anthology stories where Namor was pursuing Sue Storm, and then she disappears, Jean disappears, and then different women in Marvel Comics disappear. Right? It's drawn in a style that is similar to like Jack Kirby's drawing back in the day. Okay. It turns out that there's this alien there, this guy who I'm guessing it's a guy, who apparently wants to remove all women from, the Marvel universe and all of this. It's a really kind of, it's not done badly. It's like, from what I understand, it's actually a really I shouldn't say good story, but it's not done in that terribly offensive way. But if I let me just read what they have here. Story is done with a light-hearted tone with some humor involved. As Jean Grey disappears, and then others, we eventually find there's a bad guy who's been erasing all the women from history. A what if women were erased, one might say. All the women get brought into this realm where eventually they team up and their sheer womanhood scares the presumably male alien into submission. Now that sounds like an interesting story. In a clever twist, the alien asks the women if they then want to erase all the men to retaliate. Now listen to this part, to which Sue Storm speaks and tells the alien, no, they all love the men and they're equally important. This is both a wholesome message one doesn't see often in modern comics, and one that upset the woke comics Twitter mob as misandry runs rampant in those circles. So yeah, the alien then says, the Sue Storm, if they want to get rid of all the men, to retaliate, and she tells them no, they love their men, they want it, which is a wholesome story. You need men and women for society to exist, but no, that's a problem. You understand me? And this is what went on with them. Let me get to the party. They started off on Gail Simone because this is what they do. One starts up, penny factor journalist here. The alphabet mafia just nuked Gail Simone from orbit. Her fan base turned on her. She writes like a dude and is writing comics for incels now. The quote tweets are brutal. This is what some of them have to say here. Love the special made to center women talking about how great men are. We really needed to hear that message. One year, OMG, this is awful, just awful. Yeah, because all you're supposed to write is how much you hate men. Men are terrible. What they figured should have happened in this story. The women should have gotten rid of the men and then run the earth all by themselves, with everybody being straight up lesbians day in, day out. That would have made them happy. That would have made them happy. With the woke mob turning on Gail Simone, one wonders what fans Marvel Comics might have left for projects like Women of Marvel. Gail Simone's story was entertaining and fun, something many modern writers aren't as good at when they mix the identity politics related words. As the headliner of the book, she made a legitimately good story. Those that followed in Women of Marvel #1 weren't exactly up to par by comparison, but that's hardly Gail Simone's fault. No, but they need to tear it down to get it done. This is what's going on. Telling you, it's really bad. They turn in on, I'm going to say with the Women of Marvel, and they turn on Gail Simone because she's supposed to write every story about just hating men non-stop. This is what they want. This is why I keep saying you could never make these people happy. They are miserable individuals who have no life other than just trying to make everybody as miserable as they are. And they attack any and everything. Gail Simone is pushing the feminist agenda, and this is the problem. You can't be a feminist. You can't be open-minded. You can't talk about anything. You can't try to bridge the gap between all this hate, because that is all they want. They need that hate to survive. And if they don't get it, well, then that becomes a serious problem. So yeah, they're out here talking about how Gail Simone alphabet mafia just nuked Gail Simone from orbit. She writes like a dude is writing comics for incels now. The quote tweets are brutal. One here, OMGF, this is awful, just awful. What is awful about a story where women actually take the high ground and say, you know what, this alien tried to kidnap us. Yes, we used our femininity to humble him as usual. That's what they need to do. But then, rather than retaliate and say, let's get rid of all the men, no, they just turn around and say, you know what, we love our men. We don't want that. We need each other. No, that's our problem. That's our problem. So yeah, Gail Simone got attacked because as far as I keep saying, and I keep saying time and time again, you cannot please the woke mob. They would always be unhappy. These people have nothing to their lives. This is just who they are. This is just who they are. They want everybody to be as unhappy as they are. And Gail Simone and the rest of them to be with them. I don't like people getting attacked, but you kind of did this. We can do this with yourself when you leaned heavily into this. J.K. Rowling learned it the hard way. You're learning it the hard way. These people will turn on you at the drop of a hat because they support nothing. They're miserable individuals who just look for any opportunity to just spew their poison all over the place and expect everybody to lock it up and just live to enjoy it. Ridiculous and wrong and disturbing. Your thoughts on this in the comments. There was a full opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like, you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to notify every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.